all that you're experiencing, all that you ever will experience, is happening subjectively. It's happening as the sounds, the sights, the tastes, the touch, and so forth, and the thoughts that are happening where? Subjectively in consciousness that you are. It's just a play of mind that says it's happening outside of me, but it's never happening outside of you. You'll never, ever, 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 ever find anything outside of you. You can tell a story that I am this body and there are things that appear to be outside of this body, therefore there are things that are happening outside of me. But if you actually tell the deeper truth and the more intimate truth, you'll realize that this body and everything that appears to be outside of the body is all happening in the awareness that you are. That's the main foundation of everything. So that's step one, just to have that awareness that everything is happening subjectively in the space of awareness that you are. There's never anything outside of that. That's all there is. So all of creation is happening in the awareness that you are. So there's a singularity, and that singularity, like a coin, appears to have two sides, but it's only one reality. But the two sides that it appears to have are the two sides of formless and form. And in this sense, we can see that the formless is the source, it's the potential, and everything else is and it is emerging from that as a vibration, and then it merges back in with that. So that's the play that's going on. Is there's a singularity that has these two apparent sides to it, and there's a movement that's happening constantly from the one side, which is formless and pure potential and unmanifest, into the manifest realm, and then back again. So there's this just constant movement that's happening. And then I'm pointing out that in order to have, we want to have mastery so that we can remove fear, so that we can have confidence, so that we can be happy. Because if you think about it, if you don't have that, there will always be anxiety. Just notice the truth of that. No matter how much stuff you get, no matter how much power, no matter how much sex, no matter how much money, no matter how many uh, uh, creative things you accomplish, no matter how much you do in this world, you will always have that underlying anxiety so long as you don't have a grounding in that which does not come and go. Because all that other stuff comes and goes. You can't hold on to it. It's impossible. That's its nature is that it comes and goes. So if you don't have that grounding in that which is continuous and eternal, then that anxiety has to be there adjusted. Now, let's look at um, based on that, what basic knowledge and skills do we need in order to be successful and happy in life? And some people propose that all you need to know and all you really need is to know that you are that formless awareness. And it's true, but it's sort of a half truth. I mean, because you just have to tell the truth for yourself. Is that enough for you? And for most of us, it's not. And the reason it's not is pretty simple and straightforward. It's because we still have desires and attachments that aren't fulfilled. And so we need to fulfill and release those. Now, how are we going to do that? But so what I'm proposing is, from my perspective, very good news, which is that you can succeed. You can achieve total mastery, happiness, and peace, self-knowledge. That's possible. You can have success when you know who you are and you're committed to a path that will work for you. And so I'm proposing that it's possible to resolve the things that need to be resolved by manifesting consciously, which gives you, it clarifies your self-knowledge and it gives you self-mastery, which removes fear. So it becomes a virtuous cycle. And so in order to do that successfully, then we want to understand, again, the basics of how to do that. So I've set the foundation, hopefully. Now I'm going to go through we'll call them technologies that will allow you to have success with that. But the foundation is to understand what I've said so far so that you can make that commitment to yourself so you don't confuse yourself and distract yourself with things that aren't actually going to be helpful for you. You just need to know, you need to commit to your path, and then you need to have the basic knowledge of the technologies that will allow you to succeed with that, and then you have to follow through on those. And understand that what I'm about to tell you, and in general, all of this is it's all true, and it's in a sense it is all that you need, but in practice there are many nuances. So in reality, most of us need to have repeated exposure to this information and then ongoing support to clarify doubts and help to clear up other things that come up along the way. But what I am sharing with you is it's the essential truth. It's actually quite simple. So there are two things that we could say three. Okay. The first among those things is to regularly ground yourself in the recognition of your essential oneness, including that source awareness, that source of pure potential. Okay. So that's really, really, really helpful. And I recommend that you do have a daily practice where you do that. At first, you maybe need to do it formally. Actually, it's always helpful to do it formally. Okay, so just take a few minutes each day. If you want to, it's really helpful if it's a habit. So, in order to establish a habit, make it same place, same time, and just take a few minutes and just go through a simple little exercise like what I guided you through, where you just let go of the unnecessary noise and just tune into and recognize that which is always here, which has to be you. Just start to recognize that. Now, the wonderful thing is that the more familiar you become with that, the more you practice that, the more you'll be able to access that on demand anytime, anywhere, under any conditions, which is a life changer. Okay. Because when you can recognize that, it's like a reset. So if you are all wrapped up in some drama, which many of us are, right? Much of the time, we're wrapped up in a lot of drama. The ability to consciously recognize that you are not that drama, but that drama is occurring in the formless awareness that you are, that spaciousness, which is ever free, that's a life-changing thing. So formally practicing every day gives you that self-awareness that allows you then to tap into that and connect with that consciously anytime, anywhere. You don't have to close your eyes and make some mudra and chant Om and things like that. You can just on demand connect to that and recognize that. So, but that's something that is gained through practice and familiarity. So practice it regularly. It doesn't take long, just a few minutes. And the more that you practice it, the more proficient you'll get at that. So that's the first thing. Now, the other two things are what I've already hinted at earlier, which is that you want to uh, gain mastery over the process of conscious creation, which is the emergence of form from the formless. And then you want to also gain mastery over the conscious uh, um, dissolution of that which has already been created so that you don't end up with a situation where you've got a house full of clutter. Again, I'm using the house as a metaphor for your life experience, for your creation, for your world. You need to know how to create consciously. Otherwise, all you have is what's already been created. And if that's not fulfilling to you, then the best you're going to hope for is to rearrange the furniture, but it will never be fulfilling to you, no matter how many different ways you rearrange it. So conscious creation is an essential skill. But then also the other essential skill is conscious dissolution of that which has already been created. Because, as I already pointed out, using the metaphor of the house, if you want to put something into that house and the house already has something in it, you need to remove the existing stuff, right? If you want to remodel, refurnish your house, you've got to take out the old stuff. Otherwise, then you just have clutter. That's worse, actually. So you have to learn how to gain confidence and mastery over conscious dissolution. again, I want to keep things simple. So, are there many different techniques that can be used in order to facilitate these processes? Yes. Do some techniques have advantages over other techniques? Sure. In order to succeed, what you need is to put into practice the techniques or the knowledge so that you can gain that confidence and mastery. And so please understand that it's a big mistake to just be constantly uh, fretting about whether you have the best technique or knowledge or not. All you need, don't worry about that. You just need you just need something that works. You just need the basic knowledge, and you need some technique that will allow you to get a foothold so that you can start your journey, so that you can gain that mastery. Because in the long run, it's not about the techniques. The techniques are there just to support you in gaining the practical, direct knowledge. It's the practical, direct knowledge that actually gives the mastery and the results, not the techniques. The techniques, I mean, in the short run, the techniques can give some results, but those results are superficial and limited because you can use a technique to manifest $1 million, and that might sound great to you, but again, uh, it's it's like it won't really do it for you in the long run. Just manifesting $1 million, or just manifesting that one particular relationship, or just manifesting that whatever that one thing is, it won't do it for you. And in fact, just an accumulation of a bunch of those things won't do it for you either, because what you're actually looking for is the authentic confidence that comes from true self-knowledge and true self-mastery. And that's not something that you can get through a technique alone. It's something that you get through the practical application and the learning that comes through that. And ultimately, that's what really gives you what you're looking for. It's